In this list we've got permit, person, perfect, adverb, reverse, then we've got tact, intact, contact, tactic and tactile. So if we have a look at these words, there's some extra things we need to notice in them. So person, we tend to say person, we give it a schwat sound, which is like a grunt sound, but you just have to note that it's on at the end. It's not en or anything else. Perfect, you can read that, sound it and spell it. These er sounds are all R-controlled vowels, so they're all making a long sound. Adverb, we've got two parts to that one as well. We're adding to the verb. Reverse, we've got a long E sound there. Now the SE on the end here, just be aware, is actually making the sound. Quite often it says Z, but here it's actually making the sound. Tact, no tricks in that, or intact. These ones should be quite easy for you. Just notice on the end of tactic, in a multisyllabic word, after a short vowel, we use just the C, like in electric, panic, etc., picnic. Whereas in a short word, such as clock, we would use CK after a short vowel. Now in tactile, you've got the E making the previous I make its long sound. Now let's go back and look at what these words all mean. So permit means that you're allowed to do something. A person is a human being, it's only one of them. Perfect is faultless. An adverb adds to the meaning of a verb. It gives more of a description as to what the verb is doing, the action that we're doing. And usually you'll notice that an adverb ends in ly. Reverse means to go backwards or to change something. Tact is to deal sensitively with others in an awkward situation. Intact means not damaged. Contact means to get in touch with. A tactic is a type of strategy you might use, especially to win a game. And tactile means to feel or to touch something. You can go back and read, syllabify, or sound these words, spell them, cover them, write them, and then check them. In this first set of words, we've got the ER making the sound, as in permit, person, perfect, adverb, and adverse. So you know ER is an R-controlled vowel and it makes a long vowel sound. In the next set, we've got the root tact, intact, contact, tactic, tactile. So we've got the root tact joined to prefixes or suffixes to change the structure of the word. Now in this section you've got to complete the crossword puzzle. Now there's quite a few crosswords in queue and you should know how to do them by now. We've introduced them to you before. So here are your clues for going across the page. You remember you've got one letter per box. The answers will all be within these list words here. Down the bottom we've got fill in the gaps with the list words. So this is just checking your understanding and usage of these list words and using them appropriately in these sentences. In these words we're looking at ER for the R-controlled vowel So we've got permit, person, perfect, adverb and reverse. I've helped you with this syllabification here, so you know that ER makes a long vowel sound, so we're going to split the syllables after that long vowel sound. Adverb is a prefix add, so we always split the prefix from the base word. Same with reverse, RE is the prefix. Now intact, tact is the root, so when we're breaking these ones up, we've got intact, contact, tactic, and tactile. You're not going to break the root word up when you're dividing it into its syllables. The root always stays intact. Okay, so you can use that information to fill in these syllables. Down here you've got verb families where you just have to write the word contact in its various tenses. So you've got contact, contacts, contacting, and contacted. In this section we have to add able or ly to form an adverb to make new words and write them in a sentence. So you'll have to decide what you're adding to perfect, reverse and permit. Now the warning here is because the E will have to go away in reverse before you add the suffix able. So I've given you a hint there. And don't forget to write the sentence to make it interesting and use the word appropriately in its correct form. Now down the bottom you have to add TION or SION, and in this case with permit and perfect, they're both making the shun sound. So normally we know that SION makes the zhun sound, but here there are occasions where it's making the same sound as the TION. So you have to finish those words. You will have to change that T on the end to an S and add an S before you finish that. And if the T is already there, then you only need to add the ION for perfection. So interesting sentences once again, please. This day 4 is about joining words, and we've got additional and contrasting joining words. So the additional words that we could use to add extra information to a sentence will be words such as and, as well as, additionally, plus, along with, furthermore, also, in addition to, moreover. So rather than just using and all the time, you could try to use some of these. Now, as contrasting joining words, we've got but, although, however, yet, though, in contrast, except, instead, on the other hand. So perhaps instead of using but all the time, you could try to use some of these other words too. So when you're using, adding a contrasting joining word, you're bringing in some different information, a different point of view to the one previously stated. So if the sentence is, he is wearing a hat, okay, the hat is protecting him from sunburn as well as keeping him cool. So that's an additional joining word. So you've got to use additional joining words to finish these sentences by adding some additional information to the initial sentence. But down here we're using contrasting joining words to give a reason why. So you prefer a dog to a cat as a pet. Why? Because a cat is cuddly, but you can walk a dog. So you prefer cake to ice cream, so you have to give one reason, then you have to give a contrasting reason. So see if you can finish those. If you have difficulty, try discussing it within your group.